Thought we'd get started on the jams today. We'll get the back side of these doors all stripped down to bare metal, get all the old molding, the rubber stuff off. The stuff is shot, it's got to go. It's all the old weather stripping. Man, it's in really bad shape. This is all surface rust. It should come right off with our wire wheel. And of course, we'll treat it if we have to. We got some stuff that will encapsulate that, some rust encapsulator. We'll put that on there and it'll be fine. Got to get all this other stuff off. I'll show you what we've been doing. We got this entire driver's side jam completely stripped down to bare metal. Didn't figure I'd bore you guys with that. We done showed you that on the other side. Treated the hinges with our Eastwood products. That's the rust encapsulator right there. That's what we'll put on the inside of the door if it needs it. Did the front door too. We'll use our wire wheel. I've been getting these from Harbor Freight. They're about $5 a piece. They just go right on your little grinder here. These are Harbor Freight grinders too. I think they're about $25 each. But anyway, it's been making light work out of getting all this down to bare metal. It gets most of the surface rust off. Some of this stuff is stuck on here with clips. I guess it's got like it's got like a little wire thing that runs through it. Oh, I mean, smack you guys there. Smacked you with my trim tool. Anyway, that goes down in the clips. You see the little holes, kind of clips down into those holes. That was kind of stuck in it. There we go. And then some of it's like this where you got to kind of scrape it off of here. I guess it's like held on with adhesive. So we got our work cut out for us trying to get all this off of here, but we'll get it. So I've worked this whole front section. Look at that. That looks nice. Looks like brand new metal. It's a far cry from what that looks like. Let's see if we can make it look just as good. That's not bad. That looks 100 times better. A little bit of pitting in here, and that's to be expected. That's where the weather strip runs along. They tend to hold a little moisture in those areas, so I was expecting that, but that's okay. Pitting is not a problem. We're not even going to see it. It'll always be hidden behind the rubber weather stripping. All we got to do is treat that so that it doesn't spread any further, and it'll be fine. Oh man, that thing turned out nice. Look at this. All that bare metal, good metal. No holes. Look at this thing all the way around, man. Cleaned up very, very nice. Just got to do that 3 more times. You know, this is the 4-door. All right, so I got both the front doors completely done, stripped down, ready to go. I mean, nice bare metal. So far, I haven't found any rust holes at all. Just nothing but this little bit of surface rust on the bottom is all we've been coming across. So good news there. Had to go re-up on the wire brush wheels. These are from the Harbor Freight. Unsponsored content, but these things are awesome. They work great and only $5. This is the 4.5-inch size, like you see here. And this one here, they actually had a smaller size. I didn't see that there before. It's just slightly smaller. I mean, you can see that. I mean, both those are brand new. And this one here works really good when you're getting up into some of these really tight areas, like up in here, stuff like that. So it's coming in handy. All right, so we've made it to the last door. Cool deal. It's averaging about an hour per door, so not too bad. Not too bad at all. Get all 4 doors done in half a day. I'm not going to cry too much about that. It's turning out great too, man. We're getting everything worked down to the bare metal. This stuff's cleaning up really, really nicely. I'll show you when we get done with this one, because this one looks exactly the same. Just a little bit of surface rust. That's all it is. It doesn't feel rough or anything. It's just surface rust. It's not pitted or nothing. I mean, this one looks really good. Okay, so here we are. We're done with the doors. This is the final one. All 4 doors are done. After I went over with the wire brush, got everything down to the bare metal, got that old paint off of there, went through, wiped it all down with acetone, and then came back with my rust encapsulator and just, you know, treated the areas where, like right here is perfect example. The hinge bolted on there and it had rust between the hinge and the door. We treated those areas. I even treated down inside of here. That's the pocket where that hinge slides in there and bolts in. It's all treated now. Bottoms of the door, same way. Right where the rubber went, we mentioned earlier, traps moisture. Treated all those areas, all 4 doors, good to go. So I'm going to jump back over here. It's time to start masking, you guys. You know what that means. That means we're about to start spraying. So I'm going to get all this masked off, get it all ready to go. We'll hit this up with about 3 coats of 2K primer. It's kind of a high build primer. Real good for blocking back down. That's what we've been doing on all of it. Before we do that, just like the rest of it, any bare metal is going to get some self-etching primer. Let that dry, then we'll hit it with the 2K. We'll be good to go. All right, as you can see, we got it all taped off, wrapped up with plastic, ready to go. We did our usual back taping method, just leaving the surface exposed that we want to primer, of course. And this is what you end up with. So anyway, we ought to be good. I went ahead and went through the trouble taping up all my tail light holes, all my trim holes as usual. You guys see that? They've all got tape in them all the way down. And that just helps you keep from spraying all that stuff into the trunk and all of that. Some of them you can't get to the back side, but they'll be okay. At least these right in here where it goes into the trunk and we got all of our trim pieces and all that sitting in there. At least it won't get overspray on it. So anyway, this is what we're going to do. We're going to hit it with our self-etching primer. I've showed this in other videos, but in case you missed it, this is all we're using. Got this from O'Reilly's. That is a self-etching primer that goes directly over bare metal, and that will help our 2K primer surfacer stick. It's just a 2-part, 1-to-1 mix. There's the activator there. For those of you guys that don't know, regular primer surfacer doesn't really like to stick to bare metal, so unless it says direct to metal, you're going to want to use some kind of a self-etching primer to go on first as a foundation. That will bite into this bare metal, and we're only going to put it on the bare metal. We won't put it on the bodywork itself. And as always, you're going to want a really thin coat on this. You basically want to still be able to see through it when we're done. All right, so I got my primer mixed up. We're ready to go. We've got all of our etch primer on there. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but you don't really want it on your bodywork. They say to keep it off the bodywork, and that's what we do. If you get a little bit around the edges, it's not a big deal. But you don't want to go through and just coat your bodywork with this stuff. Bare metal only, that's all you want this stuff on. And we've got it on there all the way around. So let's get it primed in now. I think 30 minutes ought to do it, but we'll find out. We'll come out here. We're not going to reapply our next coat until this coat's actually dry to the touch. Should be about 30 minutes or so. All right, everybody, it's the next morning. We got this thing completely primed in. I put 3 coats of primer on it, and there it is. Finally, everything's primed in at this point. No more ugly, man. She looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and get this unwrapped. We've got our guide coat already sprayed on there and everything, so we're good to go. Let's get all the plastic off here, move on to the next step. All right, so now that we got the last of the bodywork all covered up, I feel like it's time to stop teasing you guys with the painting. Let's get in here and do something, man. Let's make some of this shiny. I know you guys have been waiting for a painting video. You're waiting to see some of this come together, and I think now's a really good time. We'll just get in here and mask off the roof, shoot the whole roof white. Remember, we talked before about trying to get this panel done and over with and out of the way. That way we're not trying to climb all over this thing while we're painting it. I think that we'll just stick with that. We'll come in here and we'll mask off, back tape in here, back tape just underneath this drip rail molding, because under here, all this is blue. And then from out here, just the drip rail molding. And then of course the roof itself is all white. So perfect place to run your tape just right inside of here. And then we'll drape our plastic over it. We'll run it all around here. Come on down. Let's see, I think we'll run our tape just inside of this lip to kind of close this area off. Keep paint from going in there where that's the headliner area there. We want to blow our paint up in here, cover all of this area. So we'll probably run our tape around in this area. So, probably like around in here maybe. That all be white, and then from there down will be blue later, just like the factory. You can see there, all this is blue, and then from here up is white. So we'll stick with that, just like the factory. For now, I'm just gonna go around with my Sprayway glass cleaner. I love this stuff. It works really well once you're at this point where you're about ready to paint. We'll get You know, we'll spray our lint-free paper towels here, and I want to go around that behind all of my edges is where I'm going to start. Get a nice clean surface for my tape to stick to. You probably noticed I've got my rubber gloves on. From this point forward, I don't want to touch anything with my bare hands anymore. Now all this is clean now. We've already cleaned it. We've been cleaning it, you know, here and there as we go. We still want to get all that dust off. I mean, you can see here, look at this. That's just all dust, you know. It'll keep your tape from sticking good, and then you'll have a leaky mask, you know. It'll be blowing in there and getting all over stuff. We don't want that. So now that we're done with that, we should be able to start running tape. Okay, so that's about what it should look like when you're done. You know, you could do little things like this, like get back in here and kind of beef up the corners a little bit there, kind of help you a little bit, keep it from leaking. Of course, like I said before, we're just going to go right under here, so we don't have much to go. We'll be done. I mean, this is pretty quick. You can even get in behind here and kind of double it up if you wanted to. A little added insurance to make sure that it doesn't leak. You see like that? I mean, there's one piece and then another one there. Just gives you that much more insurance that it's not going to leak. I don't think we'll have to worry about it on this. But, you know, something to think about if we're trying to mask something off that you just absolutely could not get any overspray. In this situation, even, I mean, if some got through, it wouldn't be the end of the world because we still got to come in and seal and shoot the rest of it blue. So we'd be fine. So something I like to do once I've trimmed it all back is to come through here and just kind of just slightly work my tape back away from that edge, just barely. Just barely. We don't want to unstick it, but we do want to roll it off that edge just a hair. That way nothing builds up. If we left that there, you see how we got a little something there where it kind of rolls over and the tape isn't touching the edge anymore, right? If you didn't do that, let's say you just left it just like this. I haven't rolled this back yet. See how that actually is coming up on the edge. Now, if you don't come through here and kind of roll that back just a little bit, you'll build up paint on that edge, and you'll have a thick, nasty edge right there, and you don't want that. So just roll that back just a little bit. Nothing drastic. Don't want to get too crazy because it'll all come unstuck. And that's about it. We'll do that around on the other side. Keep trimming, of course. We'll pull our plastic down a little bit. We've got a whole nother layer. We'll drape it on down to the floor. Tie up our loose corners. And the rest is just a matter of wiping the roof down, and we're ready to start spraying sealer. And then after that, we're going to spray a coat of, or we'll start building up our coats of white paint. That pearl white. Cannot wait. All right, so it's just about go time. I've got my paint suit on, got my gloves on. I've even taped, you know, my sleeves so sweat don't run out of any of your sleeves, and so that you don't want baggy sleeves, anything touching. We even go as far as to wrap some tape around your waist to kind of hold the suit so it doesn't, nothing, touches, because we're reaching across, a big tall roof. So I want to show you guys my setup. Few little tricks. Let the air out of the tires for one thing. A couple cinder blocks, some 2x6s. I've even got myself a step here. Step right up. And I've got myself a walkway going down the entire side of this. So, I mean, look how far above this we are. Shouldn't have any problem at all, you know, reaching over there and spraying. I mean, check it out. Just go through here, pretend like you're spraying. I could walk down the entire side of it. No problem. We should be fine. So, you know, same thing on this side. Got myself a little step to step up on. Ideally, that would be about 1 foot wide instead of just 6 inches, but whatever. We'll make it work. Important part is I'm up high enough that I can get across that big old roof and get everything sprayed. Got everything covered up, ready to go. Got a little plastic on the old GMC. I think we're good to go. Let's get started. All right, so this is our chemicals. This is what we're working with. This is a 1-to-1 mix. This is the sealer. This is a primer sealer, DTM epoxy. This stuff will go straight over bare metal if you need to. That's what the DTM stands for, direct to metal. Good stuff, man. This stuff will stick to just about anything, and it's really strong when it's done. We should never have any problems with this car rusting or anything. This is going to be a 1-to-1 mix. You know, 1 part this, 1 part here. This is the hardener. Without this will never dry. This is some reducer. You can add just a touch of this. I think it goes 1 part this, 1 part this, and maybe half a part of this. And all that does is it just helps it flow out of the gun and lay down really nice. Reduces the chance of getting excessive orange peel and things like that. So that's what we'll be mixing. 1 part of this to 1 part of this to, I believe, about a half a part of this. Let's get this opened up here. See what we're working with. It's been sitting for a while, so I imagine we're going to do some serious stirring. Oh yeah. This is going to be a minute, y'all. Here we go. Yep, that's what we're dealing with. All right. We'll get all this broke up, stirred up real nice, and I'll check back with y'all in just a minute. Yeah. All right, so basically, I just got everything broke up off the bottom with my paint stick. Threw the lid back on it, and I've been shaking it for a good few minutes now. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that's nice. Well, that didn't take much. I mean, when you first get into these things and you see all that gunk stuck to the bottom, like 1/2 inch, 2 inch, 3 inches thick, you think, oh man, but just break it up, put the lid back on it, and just go to shaking. You should be all right. All right, so here's our 1-to-1 mixing ratio. What we'll do is we'll come up to the number 4 here with our sealer. That's in the first column there. And then we'll go up to the next number 4 with our hardener, and that'll be your 1-to-1 mix, half of each one, right? And then we'll go up half of a part right here with the reducer, and just that little half a part there will help it flow a little better. So let's get started. Want to do this with a strainer for sure. Got 2 of them stuck together there. There we go. Let's get this in there. Like I said, we'll go to the number 4. All right, so here's the hardener here. We'll go up to that next number 4 with it. There we go. Here goes our half a part of a reducer. And there you have it. We'll make sure you mix all this stuff together really nice. We'll pour it into our gun. Might be asking, why am I straining it again when I already strained it once? Man, you can't strain this stuff enough. I say strain it every time you pour it. Let's give the roof a final little wipe down with our sprayway. If you guys remember, we've already been cleaning on this as we go, and I guarantee you she's still dirty. Yeah, look at all that. That's just one little wipe. So we'll probably go over this thing a couple of times, because I promise you, every time you wipe it, you're going to pull more dirt off. Or dust, actually. It's not dirt. And that's just from where we were sanding it. So we'll give it an initial little wipe down, and then we'll go back over it. Look at all that. We'll get it all cleaned up. All right, let's get this tacked off. Probably what I'll do is I'll reach all the way across here. Just kind of tack back to me. I want to kind of go slow. I want to stir up dirt. I was always told to go kind of slow, that this can actually stir up static electricity is what I was told. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but just as a precaution, I figure what's the harm in just slowing down a little bit? And besides that, you don't want to be in here getting off fast and stirring up more dirt, right? So I just kind of take it easy. Just get across here and tack right back to me. Flip your rag over every once in a while. If you have to, open your rag back up. You kind of refluff it, whatever. And start wiping it on here again. Keep it sticky is the idea. So I've already went over the other side. That's the end of it. We'll get in here, make sure we got down in this channel real good. And something else sometimes guys forget is you want to get in here and kind of tack around your plastic too, believe it or not. Dirt settles on that too. And when you're coming across here with your paint gun, you'll blow that dirt right into your paint job. So you want to kind of just get in here really lightly. You don't want to mess up your masking. Just kind of wipe some of that off all around. And this is a really good time to get in here and check all your masking. Make sure everything is stuck the way you want. Perfect time to check all that. Now we only want one even coat of this. That's it. That's all it takes. So there it is, full coat of sealer, and I know it looks exactly the same as before, gray sealer over gray primer, pretty uneventful, but a very necessary step. So it's dry to the touch. You can actually touch it all now, and we're gonna go over it with a tack cloth again, and we're gonna start painting. Here's our paint over here. So here's our paint system right here. 4 parts color to 1 part hardener. And as with the sealer, you can add a little bit of reducer. It says you can add up to 1 part of this reducer. And again, that just helps it flow out of the gun, helps it lay down nice and slick, minimal orange peel. I can't wait to get this white paint opened up, see what it looks like. It has kind of a vintage feel to it. It's kind of an off-white, ivory white. That's what a lot of us have been calling it, because it really does look like some old ivory keys on an old piano. There it is. Oh, yeah. I can't wait to get that on there. When we see this against that blue paint, it's going to look amazing. And unlike that old sealer, there is no buildup on the bottom of the can whatsoever. So we'll just sit here, give this a nice stir. Okay, so 4:1:1. So we're going to go to the 4:1 mix. We'll do 4 parts of our color. And we'll go up to the next column on the number 4 with our hardener, and then we'll go. I think we'll go up to the half with the reducer. I don't think I'm going to go 4:1:1. I think I'll go 4:1 to a half. I do want it reduced slightly, but I just want to be careful. I don't want to input runs. I don't want anything that's going to be too thin. All right, so we've got her all mixed up. Let's get her in the pot here. All right, so we got everything mixed up. Hey, check it out. The new and improved catwalk here. I had to widen it up, man. Back in the day, I could probably tiptoe back and forth across that little thing. I just can't do it anymore. I'm getting old, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I got me one of those on each side. Working much better, a little safer. And now I think I can run back and forth through there a little faster. I was having a little trouble at first doing it on the, when we was putting the sealer on, but I think this will go a little easier now. All right, y'all, here we go again. Let's mix up another one. Get ourselves another batch going here. This will be for coat number 2. I think that's about right. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so 4 parts of the color, 1 part of the reducer. Right there. Actually, that was the hardener there. This is the reducer here. We're just going to basically just a splash, about half a part, about that much. That's it. Give this a little stir. And it's taking just about a full batch per coat. That's a big panel. Really big panel. I feel like I'm painting a barn. But it'll definitely be nice having the biggest panel in the whole car done and out of the way. I'll get this all in there. Perfect. Look at that color. I love it, man. I love that. It's kind of an ivory white. It's a real dirty white. I just like it. I think against the blue, it's going to look amazing. So much better than that bright white that was on there. It had like a really bright white with a dark blue, and it just was not the colors for this car, I don't think. I think the original colors is where it's at. So anyway, that's coat number 1, and it's freaking shiny. Look at this. Woo! Man, that is cool. So I'm going to nail it with another coat, and I'll probably, it says put 2 to 3 coats. Let's put this next one on there, see where we're at. Well, I think we got more than enough paint to do 3 coats. We've got over a gallon of white, and all that's left to go white after the roof is just that stripe along the bottom and the 2 fins. So we got more than enough color. We may go ahead and hammer that roof with 3 coats. We'll see. Let's look and see, get that second coat on there and see where we're at. So hey, what do you guys think? Check it out. That's 2 coats. This is a single stage paint job. So some of you guys are going to be like, hey, where's the clear? The clear is made into the paint. This is single stage. It's not a base coat, clear coat system. We did it this way because this is the way they did it from the factory. And man, it looks awesome. That color, that paint, it laid down very, very nice. We got that from TCP Global. They knew exactly what color just by the paint code that we gave them. And this is the original colors. And I love it. I think it looks great. And I'm impressed with the way the paint laid down. I think it looks freaking awesome. So got a few little dirt pieces here and there. That's to be expected. We'll go back. We'll nib all that out and buff it, make it look freaking awesome, make it look even better than it already does. I know you guys have been wanting to see a paint video. I don't blame you. You know, this has been a lot of paint stripping and blocking, priming. And it gets a little monotonous, you know, all that trim. I mean, getting all that off was a lot. I know it was, but a lot of you guys have been here from day one. You've stuck with it. You've watched the videos, you watched the commercials, you've supported the channel. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And here we are, man. We've made it this far. So, hey, I appreciate everybody watching. Hey, I started a Patreon account. Some of you guys told me I should do that. And so I did. Yeah, I started one, and it's doing great, man. We got like 28 patrons within like the first week or so. And I want to say thank you to all our new patrons. I'm blown away that you guys want to contribute to this. It's really freaking cool. Maybe I should like roll some credits or something, put your name, a little shout out, something like that. I know I've seen other channels do it. I would love to do that. So maybe I'll put something together like that. We'll see. You guys don't forget my Instagram and my Facebook, Weirdbeard on Facebook. There'll be a link in the description. I will see you guys later. It's getting pretty late. We kind of got into the late hours on this one. I needed to get it sprayed. Tonight's the last warm night, and then tomorrow it's supposed to get kind of chilly. So, and they're talking maybe snow over the weekend. So you gotta get it done when you can. So we kind of pulled a late night on this one, but I'm happy with it, man. I'm glad. It was totally worth it. No doubt about it.